Hello, everybody. We are here.
Hello.
Hello,
Hey.
hello. We've gotten better at just starting things, and from here forward, if Rachel does something embarrassing at the beginning of the stream, it's probably intentional.
I don't know about that.
Unless one of us is an asshole and decides to start the stream without saying anything.
You're all
yeah,
assholes.
yeah.
Guarantee that will not happen. How are we sounding, Kevin?
Let me double check that. Hang on. I have to click buttons.
Oh no, buttons.
Okay, now we need to be talking.
Hello.
Ha
We are we.
We are we.
I'm not drugged this week. So, we good.
Are you off your meds?
Yeah.
We are.
Rachel, talk.
That's it. I like dogs. And cats are pretty cool too. I like candles also. And I like fire. It's great.
Alright, everything sounds good.
Woo! Alright, sorry about that sound check, everybody. We just wanted to make sure, because I'm the one hosting the stream today, and every once in a blue moon, I have audio issues with volume. We don't know why. Twitch, OBS, Discord. Technology. All right.
Blame Nick.
Yeah. Blame Nick 2019, in case anybody's ever wondering.
Yes, yeah, that's the official hashtag, I believe.
He is not here right now, though. But still blame him
No.
anyways.
Nick and Sky are both stuck doing real life things, so they can't be here with us doing pretend life things. So, just the three of you tonight. We had the fireball incident and the oh, did we lose Oliver?
Yeah, he's been frozen for a little bit.
Oh no.
Okay. No audio gremlins, but maybe a network gremlin.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh wow, I love when these technical difficulties pop up. I'm pretty sure that Oliver's going to get this sorted out, so I'm going to treat it like he's going to get it sorted out. I see Jess is already jumping on the tech support text messaging.
Yeah.
So excellent. Last week you guys had witnessed an explosion in front of the Trollskull Manor, and immediately went about investigating and or obstructing justice.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. And what you sorted out is some sort of clockwork man tossed a magical explosive at a gnome, and trashed the entire street. Several people dead.
Oh.
Oh. Oh.
Hello?
Waiting.
Hello?
Waiting.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
There you go.
Okay.
Hi, welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. My internet's fairly fine. I changed my region on Discord, and that seemed to snap it back. There's just something wrong with whatever region it was trying to connect me to.
Alright, so randomness. Did our stream disconnect?
No.
Okay, because Twitch froze for confirming it's just me. We do plan to play D&D tonight. I'm certain of this. I want to. Right, but the rest of you are also stream just fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
I refreshed the page and it continued.
Yeah, it's still going for me.
Yeah. That sounds like it's a network problem because that's taking forever to refresh. Now it is saying off. There we go. Okay. It's doing its thing. I'm just going to assume it's working. So yeah, and then you tracked a clockwork suspect for a bit, and decided to look into more of that at the Temple of God, the House of Inspired Hand. And that led you to one of the upper level portions of the temple where this Nimblewright, Nim, was given a workshop. And from there, he was creating his own sort of clockwork and trying to make a friend. He was successful, and one of his friends escaped. So there is a rogue Nimblewright somewhere in Waterdeep, and you believe that to be your murder suspect for the fireball down the street from your home. You were also given a Nimblewright detector, which is a 2-foot long clockwork menagerie of gears, whistles, and an umbrella. And are told that that will signal if it's brought within 500 feet of a Nimble. At that point, you guys return to Troll Skull Manor, and we're planning out what to do next. At that point, Drumstick and Lestara decided they needed more information, and we're going to go to the Yawning Portal to check in with contacts and rumors. Is my signal breaking up really bad?
A little
For
bit.
me, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've got all sorts of errors and problems going on over here.
Hmm.
So yeah, Drumstick and Lestara have left for the evening, and we'll be at the Yawning Portal digging up rumors and gossip. But the rest of you are free to do as you wish. We are the morning after the fireball.
Okay. So we got this doohickey.
Mhm.
We have an idea that he was somewhere nearby our house a day or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
We know what direction he was last seen in, and that's pretty much all we know. So I suppose we should start out just to see if we can get lucky, and I assume that when we attempt to use this this Nimblewright detector thing, it's not detecting anything immediately in the vicinity of our house.
No. At the house itself, there's nothing going.
All right, so we go up for a walk with
When
it then.
you pull the handle at the bottom. Okay.
That's my suggestion.
You wanted to walk around the neighborhood. Okay.
Or
Did
wait,
I drop out?
he was
I'm getting so much bad.
same. Oh, I'm in red.
Yeah, me too. Everyone sounds so like broken.
Oh no!
Yeah.
I think Discord's having a problem.
Yeah.
Did we?
That's a possibility.
Oh, that's better.
Okay.
I think we're okay.
Because Discord just did a thing with the video connection.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that same sort of thing. Okay. We're gonna push through for now. So you guys want to set up a manual search and take care of this at street level?
We can start out that way at the very least. I don't know if we'll be able to swing it, but I did broach the idea last time that we could potentially try to tap Octavius Thawne. He's a Griffinite or whatever they are. I mean, who knows if I don't know if they're allowed to just take their birds and fly over the city, but it's an option if we dead end, I guess. And we're down to 3 people, so adding an extra person just to help us out at any point. I mean, maybe we can recruit someone to help. But I guess for now, yeah, we can just take a walk, just slow, methodical walk in the direction that we know that he was last seen jumping from building to building.
If you want to try to contact Octavius, was that something you were going to do right now, or just check into if the foot search doesn't work out?
Well, we can leave that up to Rodrigo. She's probably the one that would be approaching him. So.
Oh gosh. I mean, if you guys want, I can.
Sounds
He'll
like a good
probably
idea. Because
Alright.
I don't know how quickly he'll get back to us, even.
If it's me, he'll probably get back like that.
Does this? I can't even think of what it's called. Like, does this machine run continuously, or is it like you have to stop, pull a thing, and it does it?
It's got like a handle you squeeze at the bottom,
Okay.
and
so you can
when you
kinda
squeeze the
squeeze
hammer,
and-
it does some movements and some things spin, and the bell will ring and the parasol will spin if it's near a nimble right.
Okay.
You saw it work when you got it, and Nim was right there.
So we can kind of walk squeezing the handle, and it'll.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to make sure of. I mean, yeah, we can contact Octavius, and then we can go take a walk around until he gets back to us. Or at
The
least,
best way to contact Octavius would be at the Griffin area, which is at the top of Mount Waterdeep.
well, bye, Rodrigo.
Yeah, we can. Blazing Fire and I can make like a slow search around the area that we're already familiar with, while Rodrigo goes and sees if we can get Octavius to help us.
Thanks, guys.
We'll just be in the area. She should be able to find us.
And just to confirm that Rodrigo's going to go all the way up there without the nimble right detector.
I mean, we don't really have. I don't know. How does she get there? Should she climb the mountain or should she just float up? I mean,
A little from column A, a little from column B. I would assume that Rodrigo's stance on climbing is that this thing that people who aren't made of air do.
Yeah.
How long
Well-
would it take her?
It would be a good 3-4 hours to get to the top.
Man.
So yeah, even if you get up early and leave early in the morning, you wouldn't want to be walking up there and doing that climb, such as it is, in the dark. But an early start on that, you're still not going to get up in there until 9-10 o'clock at the bare earliest. But and you know Waterdeep well enough. I'm sure that Warren has a map by now.
At least of our immediate area, yeah.
Yeah. You would expect it to take a week or two just to search the North Ward
Yeah.
at street level. From the Griffin, you could probably search the entire city in a few hours.
Yeah, I'm just thinking whether or not to give her the right detector. I mean, best case scenario, she detects something halfway and still has to come back. I mean, at which point it would be faster to just come back by Griffin anyways if she's successful. At the very least, if we just send her up there without the detector and we make a foot search, we'll either get lucky or we'll just have at least a small area that we can roll out while we're waiting for her.
Up to you guys.
The incident happened when it was starting to get dark, right? So it was like evening? Or am I wrong?
We're gonna say the fireball incident was last night, approximately 12 hours ago.
Okay.
So you all got a full night's rest, sleep, full hit
Yeah.
points, all abilities back, etc.
So yeah, I think we get up as early as possible. Rodrigo goes to see if she can contact Octavius, and then Blazing and I will make a foot search
Yeah.
with the detector while we're waiting.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to Rodrigo here and deal with the climb up Mount Waterdeep. And when we settle that, I'll go back to Oliver and Blazing to see what they were doing while Rodrigo climbed. So this is not your first trip up Mount Waterdeep. You once went up there just on the occasion of a picnic. Get away from the sights and sounds of the city, get above all that all, get some fresh, clean air for the first time in a while. And while you were up there, that was when Octavius had a in-flight problem with his griffin and crash landed near your picnic. And you rode to the rescue. You calmed the griffin down, you got him out of there. I believe you even administered some healing. And earned his appreciation and an invite to a party. Now that party was a memorable event.
Yes.
That party was your first real introduction into how the nobility of Waterdeep does things. And of course, the Xanathar Guild showed up. They tried to hustle the crowd of nobles and make it a profit on this. Their plans did not go according to their intentions, and they ended up being chased across the front lawn of the Thawne Estate by a elven wizard riding a table. And that's where you left that. So as you climb up to the top and you get near the area, you can see that the Griffin Riders have spotted you long before you get there, and they've done some close-ish flybys to figure out who you are. And as you approach the gate of the area, Octavius on his Griffin lands a few feet away from you.
God, I'm nervous.
So 60 feet away from you is this full-bred griffin in all of its martial glory. The armor, the saddle, all of it's right there. That light's at the perfect angle to give that lens flare off some of the armor pieces. And atop this griffin is your friend Octavius. He's smiling.
Of course he is.
He's into you.
And he dismounts, takes a few steps forward to you. He's like, "What brings you up here again?" It's a surprise, but a good surprise.
Yeah. Came to ask for your help
But
with something.
I believe I do owe you a favor for assisting with our security problem at the banquet.
Whoops. We're searching for something. Something? Is it a thing? I'm pretty sure it's a thing. Mannequin, dummy dude. I forget the name of it, but
Well, you know what it is. It's a clockwork
yeah.
being. And you're a druid, the voice of nature. So I don't know how you feel about that. That's up to you.
Okay. Yes, we need help finding it because it blew up our street. And it's somewhere around here. And you have flying creatures.
This is why your character has a persuasion skill. I would like you to roll it.
13.
13? Okay. You get a laugh out of Rodrigo. And he's like, "That's an open investigation for the Watch. I'm free to help.
Cool.
It's city business. We can make this work out." I mean, that's how this the entire city functions. You trade a favor for a favor. It's more about who you know than anything else.
Yes, you're right.
Have you ever read a Griffin before?
Nope.
Oh,
Never.
When this will be a treat then.
Yikes.
And you're getting the full charm from him. You can tell he's putting in the extra effort. But he's also got that noble bearing to him where he knows exactly where the line of politeness is, and he stays firmly on that line.
Good.
Rodrigo ain't interested.
No, but I'll play it up. He's still giving me favors. So.
So after a brief lesson on how to properly sit on the back of Griffin as a passenger, he assists you on top of this Griffin. How do you feel in that scenario right there? You've got Rodrigo Octavius right in front of you.
I'm just trying to ignore him. I'm happy that I'm on a Griffin. Amazing.
Okay. Focused on the Griffin.
Yes.
Okay. Give me an animal handling check.
Oh gosh. Grammy, why are you calling me? 18, 19, 20.
Okay. As this he gives a command, the Griffin leaps into the air.
Whee!
and there you go. Like, this is the pure joy of flight happening here for you.
Yes.
Within a few seconds, a couple of powerful wing beats, this Griffin is up above the top of the mountain, looking down on everything.
Yes.
You can see.
Carpet ride.
Yeah,
No.
to the west, there's nothing but cold blue water, as far as you can see. To the very north, you spot these massive snow-peaked mountains. To the east is field and forest in every imaginable patchwork. The river that runs around Waterdeep is just that line that goes from below you to the mountains above to the north. This is you haven't been flying probably since you left home.
Oh.
Yeah, and this is this is something you might have been missing. And with that, he's let's get to business then. Let's get this search going. The Griffin wheels over into a dive.
Yes. I'm just screaming.
He's pleased that you're enjoying this. So he's putting on a little bit more show. These turns have a couple more G's in them than they might otherwise.
All right.
Which does inadvertently force you to grab a hold of him a little bit tighter as these maneuvers get more vigorous. Things kind of slow down for a bit, and you fly this pattern across Waterdeep, popping this nimble rate detector every few seconds. And
do I have it?
No,
I think we actually, we were holding it with
Oh,
us.
I have it.
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry.
we were going to do
I thought
the
you had it.
foot. Yeah.
I had that entirely backwards. Oh, this makes far less sense now.
I think the plan was that they were gonna meet us where we were, and then we were to give them the thing. 'Cause you said
Okay.
it was gonna take a couple hours to get up
Yeah.
the mountain anyway, so it made sense to us for us to go
Okay.
quick foot search around the area.
I'm going to use my DM override and just say that it's worked out this way. That she has the nimble right detector.
All right, that's fine. It was a drive-by. She came by and just picked it right up out of our
Picks
hands.
it up.
I apologize on that. That was my mistake.
It happens.
And the reason I say that is because it pings over the harbor. Not once, not twice, but 3 different times.
Jesus.
There are 3 ships flying the same flag in the harbor. And you can see the naming of the ship at the front. They are the Heartbreaker, the Eye Catcher, and the Hellraiser.
Sweet.
And even Octavius takes notes of them and mentions that those are the 3 ships of the Sea Maidens Fair traveling circus that came into port earlier this week.
Sorry, what were the 3 names again? There was the Hellraiser, and the other 2 were
Heartbreaker, Eye Catcher, Hellraiser.
And it dings over all 3?
All 3. Now, you still have roughly 3/4 of the city unsearched.
Okay. I won't do anything with the ships yet. I'll just keep that in mind and keep searching.
Okay. As you continue the search, you get one more ping in the city. It's in the North Ward, about a half mile from Trollskull Manor. And Octavio identifies this as the Growlhund Mansion. They're one of the noble families of Waterdeep. Octavius doesn't have too much to offer on their personal reputation. He hasn't dealt with it.
Okay. Are we at have we searched, is this like the last place?
Yeah, that's the last place that pings.
Okay.
And as you do the last turn over the Field Ward, which is the most western part of the city, Octavio turns around and is like, "Would you like me to drop you off at home?"
Yeah. That'd be nice.
We were there's a technique that we've been taught to do a fast landing.
Oh.
We all have these amulets which let us cast a feather fall spell. It's part of our uniform. You can do something similar, can't you?
Like float?
Yeah, you can levitate.
Yeah.
Same trick.
Okay. Amazing.
and basically what he explains this technique is he'll fly low, you can jump off and cast your levitate spell
Sick.
and float down.
All right. That sounds amazing. I'm gonna do a
So-
flip off of the griffin.
Fair enough. So we'll pause on that exact point in time right now. Back to the 2 of you who stayed behind without the nimble right detector. Was there anything that you were filling your morning with?
Well, regardless of whether or not we kept the nimble right detector, I think we were going to just make a very slow and careful search of the areas that we already knew that this nimble right had been sighted in.
Okay.
So the same route we went tracking the person before, we were basically going to double back and just look again and see if anything else caught our eye.
Okay.
We're mostly waiting for Rodrigo, but we want to at least
Yeah.
looking.
Busy.
Okay. So as you guys are searching the neighborhood, you catch something out of the corner of your eye, Warren. There's a griffin rider plummeting towards your location.
Okay.
And Octavius points out to Rodrigo that he spotted Warren right there on the street with Blaze nearby. And he just winks. and dives towards them.
Oh my god.
Then it's up
I'm-
to you.
Me?
Hmm
Yeah, you gotta do your flip off the
Yeah.
griffin, man.
It's your moment.
Right. I'm gonna stand up, hold on to his shoulders, and then when he gets close enough, jump off, do 2 barrel rolls, and then land and put my hands up in front of them.
Okay.
Well, I'll float down first, but you know.
So, give me a acrobatics check.
Oh gosh.
I'd hoped you were gonna make her do a check.
Of course, I was going to make her do a check.
13.
Okay. This is a new type of speed for you, and you're intimately familiar with how air and wind work. But this much of it, with this gravity involved, is new. So you flip, and you, from someone who's never seen anything like this before, from the ground, you just leapt to your death.
Oh fuck.
But you're up there, and you know what's going on. I mean,
Yeah.
it's wobbly, it's weird, but you cast your levitate spell about 100 feet from the ground, and then just float the rest of the way down like a balloon. And you land 10 feet in front of Warren.
What's up?
Okay, I'm standing there looking not very amused with my hands on my hips, and I say, "Enjoying yourself, are you?"
Yes, I am actually.
I'll look up at the griffin as it's departing and give it a salute.
Yeah, and he will match that salute and kind of fly off back towards the area.
Okay. Well, while you were busy having all that fun, what have we found?
I'll tell them about the ships and the thing going off with the ships, and then it going off over one of the royalty families or
The Growlhund mansion.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Am I familiar with the Growlhund family at all, or are they?
Give me a history check.
Let me see. History check +4. That's a natural 20 for my first roll.
Wow.
Yeah, you do know the family, and the reputation's not that great. They have a reputation of lending money to mercenary companies. And the accusation is that some of this isn't just straight mercenary work. They've got their hands close to piracy and banditry because of who they lend money to. Now, as far as the city can prove, their books have been clean. They've kind of got a reputation for being able to get away with it.
Okay, interesting. Would they be involved with the Zentarum at all, or are they a little bit below that?
A lot of the Zentarum's might comes from their mercenary unit.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely in the same vicinity of each other.
Okay. Well, we've got 3 boats and 1 disreputable noble house, which is interesting because we were only expecting to discover 1.
Well, would we know that these were a traveling circus? Yeah, Rodrigo would have told us, right?
Yeah, Octavius gave that information.
Yeah. Well, couldn't we make the assumption that mayhap if it's a circus, it might have some clockwork things? It's a circus.
It's likely. It's more likely, I guess, than there just being 3 random pings.
Mhm.
So the Growlhunds definitely have more of my attention.
Yeah.
Blazing, you spend quite a bit of time on boats.
Yes.
Your geography is a little better on this. You know the coastline. Waterdeep sits at the north end of the Sword Coast, as you go south from there, about 2,000 miles, you get to the land of Chult, which is more, you've been through there. Off the north coast of Chult is the Isle of Lantan, which is where the Nimblewrights were made. So that's about how far away their origin is.
I don't know now. I was so
Well-
certain before. Ow.
Well, couldn't that mean that they're carrying nimble rights from that area specifically?
That's a possibility.
Yeah. So, even if we account for the subject that we're seeking being on one of the 3 ships, that's still either 3 ships we search or 1 mansion.
I think we should search the mansion first.
The
Especially
difficulty
since
is
they're-
going to be how do we approach searching the mansion?
Well,
I guess we should probably head in that direction and just sort of scope it out.
Yeah.
See what it looks like.
yeah, Rodrigo, you've seen the place from the air. And basically what you've got, when you get to the street level, it's on a busy street.
Mhm.
This is one of those streets that even at night has a relatively good amount of traffic on the street. The entire compound is made up of the manor house, which is on the west side of their. They have an unusual feature for a house in Waterdeep. They have an actual yard garden area inside their city wall,
Wow.
their manor wall. Most of the locations in the North Ward don't have that. That makes it unique in the North Ward. So they have 2 buildings inside the wall. One is the stable, one is the mansion. The mansion has at least 2 floors that you can see above ground. There are some trees in the courtyard. The main doors to the mansion can be seen through a double-barred gate on the street. So you cross about 50 feet of courtyard to go from the main gate to the main entrance to the house.
Jeez.
There's also a servant's entrance on the side of the mansion, which is against the street. That door has no mechanism to open from the outside. It's like barred from the inside. Cannot be opened or picked. Could be destroyed.
Sorry.
I mean, but if someone went in the house, could open the door.
We have less to worry about doors being destroyed because our Minotaur isn't here
Yeah,
today.
that's why I was laughing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, well, he didn't fare so well against that last door.
Okay, so can we see the servant's door from the
The servant's
street?
door is on the
Okay.
street.
It's on the street. Okay.
Yeah.
So can we perhaps stake it out a little bit and just loiter a little bit away and observe how often servants are coming and going?
Yeah. Throughout the course of the day, you see no one leave or enter the compound.
That's weird. At all?
No one at all.
That's really weird. I think we should plan up
Interesting.
suspicion.
Are there any windows open or anything?
Not that face the street.
And
There
our
is-
Nimblewright. Sorry, go.
I say there is above the main entrance to the house. There is a balcony that goes into some sort of room on the second floor. There are also no, there must not be very much airflow in this home.
No windows then?
No,
Well, I suppose if you have a lot of stuff to hide. So, okay, so the nimble right detector that we have, it's not... I mean, how good is it at actually... we know there's a ping, but...
If you test it right here, right now, it tests as there's a nimble right in this building.
Right, but we can't... There's no way to, like, get more precise than that. It's just telling us there's something in the area.
Give me an intelligence test.
Let's see. Um, 8 plus 2, 10.
You can do a walk around the area in a small, a couple of 100 feet wide circle, and you can establish that the nimble right is somewhere within that compound. By testing it multiple places, you can triangulate a location.
Right.
You're not accurate enough to figure out where in the building it is, but it's somewhere on the compound.
Is there like a doorbell or buzzer we can, press? Like,
I don't think we should just walk up to the.
I've assumed you haven't approached the main gate directly.
No, we haven't done that yet. So, we obviously need to get inside the house. Breaking and entering, not really something Warren wants to do, but I guess we'll see what our options are. If these guys are engaged in shady business, we can assume that there's going to be some sort of resistance inside. When we were at Octavius's party, we know that they employed mages, so they possibly have some mages in this house as well.
The Thon estate is a whole nother magnitude of wealth above the Growl.
Right.
Old money versus new money.
So, yeah, not quite as expansive. But if they're lending money to mercenaries, there could be some tough customers in there. If they're not using the servant door at all, I wonder if they're guarding it. And how we would get inside without breaking it down on a public street.
You're familiar with doors and construction. So if you give that door a good looking over, what you can see is that it's a thick oak door that likely has a bar on the inside. And without lifting that bar, that door is not going anywhere unless shattered.
So what is the likelihood? These guys, so they're moneylenders, people.
Mm-hmm.
What is the likelihood, like, what channels would one need to follow to make a meeting with someone like that in order to get money lent to them? Like, would you just walk up off the street, or is there a channel that one would use to do that?
That probably wouldn't be the thing you'd walk up to their home off the street for. They likely have an agency or an office at some location where they actually do business out of.
Right.
The other possibility, if you wanted to get a visit with Lord and Lady Growlhund themselves, any type of noble connections have a chance of getting you through there. Someone knows somebody, etc. Octavius said he didn't know the Growlhunds personally.
Okay.
Yeah, I was more thinking of, it's a long shot, and it's been a while, and I forget his name because this is before I took notes, but we may technically still have a favor with what's-his-face, the son of the exiled lord.
Rainier Neverember.
Yeah, that we saved from the warehouse. It's a possibility. I don't know. It's been a while. What I'm thinking right now is maybe all we have to do is get them to open the door. Because Blazing, you have invisibility, right?
Yeah.
And you're sneaky. if you can get in there and maybe make your way around to the servants' quarters door and open it from the inside, it's kind of dangerous though, because once you're in there,
I'm in there.
we don't know what's in there.
Climbing over the wall would be easy. For Blaze, it wouldn't even be a climb check. It would just be up and over the wall. Getting into the home from there, you've only got... Here are your choices to enter the home from inside the wall. You can climb up to the second floor balcony, get in that way. There is a building that looks like it's attached to the main mansion area. Like it was a building that was added on after original construction. And that has doors on both the north and south side of that add-on. Then there's also another door away from the main entrance. It is near the servants' entrance on the outside wall. But it's... I wish I could sketch this out better for you. If you drop on the other side of the wall, it's about 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the closest entrance to the kitchen.
Okay.
I mean, you could always play Ding Dong Ditch on them while you're invisible until they open the door and then.
Well, we don't want to arouse any kind of alarms. We don't want to.
That makes sense.
I kind of hope that nobody inside can detect magic.
That's why I was wondering if they were also going to have a house wizard in there.
There's an interesting interaction between detect magic and invisibility.
Oh.
And it's never explicitly stated anywhere that I can find in the rules whether a detect magic can see an invisible object.
Oh.
I have always played it that detect magic cannot find something that is made invisible.
Okay.
So that is the way I play that.
Okay. I'm okay with that. So this closest door, is it... I'm assuming it's probably going to be locked. I guess we have to try.
Yeah, we just need to find some way to get a door open so that you can get inside. At which point you would need to find your way, hopefully, to the servant's door and open it. And on the way, preferably scout out, see if there's any guards. Because we really, even if these guys are guilty of some crime, we really don't want to get in a fight in a noble house after breaking and entering. We really want to avoid combat if possible.
We're probably going to anyways, but...
Well... Let's hope not.
I'm just being real here.
Inside a noble's home without an invitation, your legal situation is at best precarious.
Yeah.
The law does favor the nobility over the commoner.
Rude.
Waterdeep politics are fascinating, though. It's the rich people are in charge of things, so they make sure it's good for rich people, but they're not total dicks about it.
I wish you could actually get a glimpse of some of the servants, because it would also make sense for somebody to dress up, particularly those who are sneaking in not invisible.
If there are not a lot of servants going in and out, they might not even have any servants working in there right now.
Yeah. I guess we're not going to know until we go in and find out.
Yeah, Warren would have no problems disguising himself up as a servant. Rodrigo?
Debatable.
Will never look like she's from around here.
True.
Wait a minute.
I'm blue.
Can I prestidigitation her? Or is that not how that would know?
I could turn into... Can I turn into like a rodent? Or
yeah, why don't we just turn into like...
Yeah. Sure.
Yes. Could you turn it like just a bug to just crawl underneath the door? I was just thinking that. That would be much easier.
That's a bit smaller than you can go.
Okay.
House cat is about as small as you can get.
Oh.
Can't even do a rat?
Dang it.
I would say, yeah, a rat would work out.
Alright.
Hmm.
Once I'm inside, it can turn into a rat, but
Yeah,
Well-
you can only shift a limited number of times per day.
Alright. Well, I guess I'm going invisible and going to check this shit out, aren't I?
If that's what you want to try and do.
I think it's our best course of option? Course of
Course of
option?
action? Yeah, yeah,
I'm just
yep,
not
yep.
gonna fix that. It's gonna be our best
Okay.
course of option.
Okay,
Yeah? Right?
so Blaze is going over the wall.
Yes.
Rodrigo,
mm-hmm.
while Blaze goes over the wall, what are you doing?
I'm assuming is it an old house?
Yes. The wall's about 12 feet tall. Crossing over the wall is not a big problem.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking, since it's an old house, if I turn into a rat, is there any holes that I can go into? Like sneak my way in?
Have you ever tried to keep a rat out of something?
No. I've tried to keep a mouse out though.
It's scary.
Yeah, once you're over the wall as a rat, you would have a whole bunch of options on how to get places. But you haven't really looked over the wall in detail to see what your options are.
Yeah.
You would need to get closer to figure out if you could get a specific way in.
Okay. I'll go with that. I'll go over. Should I turn into the rat first? I don't think I'll be able to. Can I get over the wall if I'm a rat?
You could probably just
through a
walk
hole.
through
Oh,
the
I can go-
gate.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, you could rat through the gate pretty easily.
Okay. All right. So I'll turn
Okay,
into a rat.
Before these two leave, I just want to say, remember, we want to get the servant's door open, an exit and an entrance, and we want to keep your eyes open for people in the manor. We want to avoid as many people as possible.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, something I want to go over here real quick. First, Blaze, where do you want to go over the wall at? Closest to the entrance, or closest to the gate where Rodrigo is entering?
I want to go closest to that door. Not the
Okay.
servant's door, but the other one. You said there was one that was near it?
The attached building?
I think so. I think
Yeah.
that's what she means.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Gosh, I have 1 hit point as a rat. My
Yeah.
goodness.
But if you take damage as a rat, you just turn back into Rodrigo.
Okay.
Does that make you Ratrigo?
Instead of Rod. You're not a Rod.
I'm rat Rigo now.
Okay, so when in the moment after Blaze goes over the wall and Rodrigo enters in rat form through the gate on the opposite side of the manor, I want to double check and make sure that neither of you have any magic that lets you communicate with each other.
I don't think so.
I don't. Where would I go to check that?
Just a quick check of your spells and abilities.
I can just speak with animals. I don't think I can speak
I mean,
with
if
someone.
there's some horrible thing that goes wrong, I can do a shower of sparks and with prestidigitation.
Oh yeah. You've got plenty of options that involve being loud.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of curious if you have any way to communicate with each other otherwise.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, silent image. I have mage
No,
hand, unseen
I don't see
servant.
it. Okay. And Warren, you're staying at street level somewhere near the servants' entrance?
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for them. I'm not gonna try to infiltrate yet.
All right. Blaze.
Hi.
You pop up over the wall and land with a cat-like grace that no one sees because you're invisible.
Still victory.
And when you land, give me a perception check.
actually.
Sure.
Oh, there it is. I have my... No, that's not it. I have my window smaller than normal. So things are weird.
Yeah, you're +2 in perception.
I'm actually rolling a d20.
Okay, it's a good start.
19, so 21.
Okay. Right below you, on the ground, in the mud, is the paw print of a large dog.
Oh.
Now, you look around and you don't spot a dog right
That's worrying. That's more worrying for Rodrigo than me.
Well, she can talk to it at least.
Yeah, but she's a rat.
Speak with animals is a spell.
Well,
Rats can't cast spells.
Shit.
Alrighty then. Oh
Um,
god.
So, in front of you, to the left, there's the entrance to the what you assume is the kitchen entrance.
Mhm.
Directly ahead of you is the door to the outbuilding. And then off to the right is what you can assume is a stables, but that doesn't connect to the house in any way.
Alright, okay.
And then the courtyard wraps around the outbuilding towards the other side of the house.
I'm gonna go to the door on the outbuilding.
Okay. That's it's a well-made door, but it's not a super strong door.
Okay.
Do you try to open it?
Yeah.
It is locked.
Okay. I kind of figured it was gonna be locked.
Yeah.
I couldn't manage to pick this lock, could I?
Well, you don't have the proper tools to even make the attempt,
Oh, figures.
but to make a normal attempt. You don't have the proficiency in thieves' tools.
No.
But if you want to give it a try, I'll let you take a try with it at disadvantage. To unlock this door with your claws.
Alright. Might as well. So that's roll 2 and take the lower, right?
Lower, yeah.
That one's a 4
not good.
and a 7. So 4,
Yeah.
I don't know if we're at.
Yeah, that 4 is not gonna to get anywhere close.
Sorry, I'm just
Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Yep, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
You slide through the bars, and there's like a landscaped gardenish area right here inside the gate. Some trees to the left, some shrubberies to the right, and one of those like tiny trees that doesn't look like it's a real tree, but it probably looks pretty for like 1 week of the year because of flowers on it. There's one of
Okay.
those directly ahead of you. And then past that ornamental tree is the entrance to the main entrance to the house. Above that entrance is the balcony that
Mhm.
enters the second floor. You are in rat form, so you have rat sense. Do rats have any funky senses?
Dark vision for 30 feet. Passive perception. I don't know what that means. Oh, keen
You're looking at
smell.
the stats for rat?
Yeah.
Okay. Dark vision's good. Perception of 12. Okay. Back. Okay. You see the one there? There might be something on your sheet that says keen smell.
Yes.
You have advantage on any checks to perception involve scent. Give me a perception check. With advantage because it's a scent-based check.
Mouse, come on. All right. So would I add
Oh, you would add
wisdom or?
yes.
Okay, so 12.
Did you roll twice?
No, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. 21. So I got 12 and 21.
Okay. You take maybe 10 feet of movement inside the front gate, and you're moving like a rat. So you're following the corner edge of the wall, just in like the very edge of things where you're safest.
Mhm.
And you go about 10 feet in, and you smell dog. This is big dog, big powerful dog, big powerful territorial dog.
Oh gosh, okay.
You've got quite a bit of space between you and the house at rat speed. You only move 20 feet per round as a rat. Now,
Can I tell where the dog is, or can I just smell a dog somewhere?
you basically walked right by the spot on the wall. He decides is his spot on the wall.
Oh gosh. You know, I'm gonna turn right back around and go through the gate and tell Warren there's a big ass dog. I'm not gonna even deal with that.
Okay. So
I'll wait for Jess.
rat walks through about 10 feet, gets the literal whiff of danger, and then nopes out.
Well, because if I go in the house and the dog gets me, I turn back into myself, and if there's people there, I'm just like, "Hey, what's up? I was a
Okay.
rat." Like, I'll blow everything. So, might as well turn around.
Okay. So you're gonna go back out to the street.
Yeah, I'll just wait for Jess.
Great. Thanks.
So
You're welcome.
Blaze, who has no idea what's happening anywhere else in the vicinity right now.
Nope.
You've tried the first door, and it doesn't move.
Was there another door on this?
Yes.
Little thing? Alright.
There was a door from the kitchen.
Alright. Wait, is the kitchen the one that we're trying to open, or is that a different door?
You don't really, from the outside, you can't tell what's on the other side of the door.
Okay.
But it is relatively close to the kitchen door.
Alright, I'm gonna go try that door.
This one is also locked. But this one looks like it's been forced open recently. The lock's not on right.
Oh.
You don't think it's going to be any easier to pick the lock, but you think it would be a lot easier to force the lock. So if you wanted to put your weight against the door and give it a good push, you might be able to get the lock the door to pop open.
Can I do this quietly? Is this a quiet endeavor that could happen?
At the risk of setting precedent for how invisibility is used, I would say that it doesn't break your invisibility to try to force it.
Okay.
But there's the potential for a lot of noise.
Oh boy. Ugh. It's been forced open recently. Man. do it?
It's up to you.
I can't decide if it's a good idea or not.
Well, why do we think it was forced open? Either somebody who wasn't supposed to be in there forced their way in, or maybe it just broke and they had to force it on their own, in which case it would be less suspicious if it was making noise. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I'm supposed to recommend when I'm sitting outside the gate. I mean, you're a cat. Can you listen? Put your ear to the door and see if there's anything on the other side? I don't know how your cat works.
Can I technically? I don't think I have any.
Give me a perception check.
14.
Okay. You listen to the door, and you don't hear anything inside the door. But you do hear growling behind you.
Of course I do. All right.
And when you
Okay.
turn, there's a dog, a mastiff, who's got that like attack posture, but that confused look where nose and eyes are not syncing up here, and doggy brain is having problems.
What kind of material is this building? Is that a weird question? Is it just like brick? Is it?
I'm gonna say brick. It is never a weird question.
Okay. I think I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna assume that Rodrigo and I can't see what's happening from where we're waiting.
No, but give me a perception check from the outside, Warren.
Let's see. Perception. 8 plus 5, 13.
So, Blazing?
Hi. I am gonna hopefully manage to find a slightly loose brick above this door, and I'm gonna jump up and latch onto it, so I am out of this dog's reach.
Okay, so you're gonna try to climb the wall.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Give me a strength athletics check.
Hey,
Is that
I
a
have
thing you're-
athletics.
Yeah.
Why did my brain just not be able to math for a second? 19.
Okay. You leap, and you can get your claws up on the top edge of the attached building, and use that to pull yourself up onto the roof of the attached building on
I
the
didn't
side.
realize it was that low. Yeah.
Well, you made a good jump check. And you're able to scramble up onto this roof above the two doors and the growling mastiff.
Yay. I'm safe-ish.
You also have your aura sight on. The dog has a necromantic enchantment
Great.
attached to him.
Great.
Yeah, it's like there's like this aura of black around him that's just like smoking off.
You know, I wonder if I get this dog to bark if the door will open. Or somebody will come out and check. In the hopes to get this dog to bark, I'm gonna use just prestidigitation to just like make like a flash at the dog. Maybe
Okay.
it'll.
So you toss a prestidigitated flashbang.
Yeah. No sound, just light.
Okay, so just a light pop.
Yeah.
That gets a bark and a jump back, but not a continued bark. You get a lot of that low growl.
Weird. I mean, I guess if it's a necromancer dog, that might not be weird. What do I do? Can I? What is there on top of this outcrop? Is there anything? Is it just like?
Wooden shingles for
Okay.
this roof. So it's one of those things where it like stays wet for like 2 days after it rains. But it's solid, well built roof. Rodrigo, you've slipped out of the gate and are on the city street.
Mm-hmm. Where? Okay, so can we see her, or where
You
is
can't.
she?
You're on the opposite side of the house from where Warren's waiting.
Oh. Okay.
So if you wanted to return to Warren's location, that's 7 or 8 rounds of walking to go around.
Okay. All right. And I don't know what Jess is doing either, right?
No.
I would. Mm.
I see this image of this rat on the sidewalk. Should go in. No, I
Just
can't.
thinking. I'm going back and forth. I'm pacing.
No, I can't. And just like pacing back and forth as you change your mind on what you want to do here.
All right. All right. I guess I'll go back in, because there's no sense in walking back to him. I guess I'll just book it for the house. I don't know.
Okay, so you're gonna make a rat dash for the front door.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. You run as fast as your little rat legs can carry you. And yeah, it's a little disorienting at first because you're that close to the ground. It makes it look like you're going that much faster than you actually are.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's a weird sensation. If you just hadn't recently plummeted off of a griffin, you might think this is actually fast. When you cross the distance and approach the front doors, the doors do have glass windows in them. And inside the front entranceway, you see bodies laying on the ground.
Okay.
It's hard to count how many, but 7 or 8.
Jesus.
Dead bodies?
They're not moving.
Okay. All right. Is there any way I can get in to the house?
Here, the door is broken open.
Oh, okay.
So it was pushed closed-ish, but you could rat wiggle through the gap in the door and get inside.
All right. Little rat wiggle.
Inside the room here, once you get inside and get a better look around, you've got 2 men standing in the room. Currently don't see you. They have maces in their hand that look like they've been used recently.
Okay.
You can hear fighting going on somewhere else in the house. You've got it's a big entranceway, so you've got 2 big iron chandeliers up on either side. The paneled walls are covered in tapestries, which would be a good location for something rat-sized to hide behind. And then there's a fireplace with a black marble mantelpiece at the center of the room with a family portrait of a dark-haired man and woman. There are 3 children and a large dog. A friendly-looking dog.
Oh, okay.
And then, in addition to all those normal home furnishings, there are 8 bodies laying on the ground, all in the same uniform and livery of personal house guard. And judging by the image they have stitched into the front of their tabards, there's a snarling dog on a livery. You'd assume the coat of arms of House Growlhund.
Okay. Wait, so it's just the servants or something, or the guards on the ground? It's not any of the family members?
They appear to all be uniformed guards.
Okay, alright. Alright. Do I recognize the 2 people with the maces at all, or are they just 2 random guys?
Give me a perception check on them.
16.
One of them has a necklace of a winged snake.
Okay.
A logo you've seen many times.
Gosh, I don't.
It's the Zentarum thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
She knew it was one of the 2 of them.
Yeah. In addition to the furnishings of the room, the bodies, and the 2 men, there's a set of stairs going up to your immediate right.
Okay.
Beyond the large fireplace, there's a plain wood panel door. And then on the right side of the room, past the staircase, there are 2 ornate wooden doors.
Are any of the doors open?
Don't believe so.
Okay.
No.
So I don't think I should go through. I'll head upstairs. I guess, because I can't go through the doors. So.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I should probably stay there. Are the 2 guys talking at all, or are they just standing there
Looks
with
like
their
they've
maces?
got they're in a watch position.
Okay. All right. So I'll head up then. I'll head upstairs.
Okay, so you're gonna head up the stairs. Give me a stealth check.
Oh,
Advantage because of your rat size.
I got a 9.
Okay.
And you roll 2 for the advantage.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
you-
I didn't.
If you
I didn't know
have
that.
advantage, you roll twice.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, I got a 6, so.
No better. Okay. All right, you run up the stairs. Warren, you're starting to get a little nervous. I mean, you're familiar with the talents and attention spans of your friends Blaze and Rodrigo,
Yeah.
and it's been at least 2 minutes out here.
So the wall is too tall for me to peek over, right?
Correct. Like, how tall are you?
Probably somewhere 5'8", 5'10", just average human size. I don't know.
If you would just reach up, the top of the wall is about a foot above your hand.
Right. Okay. I guess I'm gonna put my ear. Well, no, because I'm not really standing next to the door. Yeah. Okay. I'll give it another minute to see if anything's gonna happen with this door, and then I guess I'm gonna just mosey my way
Okay.
casually towards
You're
the
on
gate.
full alert, sensors active.
Yeah.
Blaze,
Hi.
you're on the roof of this attached building overlooking the courtyard with a growling dog on the ground below you.
Yup.
Now,
There is a
There's-
balcony, isn't there?
There is a
In case-
balcony on the other side of the courtyard. And from the roof of this building, step right over onto it.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
All right. There's a pair of double doors made mostly of glass that are closed and appear to be locked. Through those doors, you see a almost gaudy decorated bedroom. This is the type of decoration this is the type of thing that poor people think rich people like. Uh, yeah, there's stuff that's too shiny. There's stuff that's too fluffy. It's just mostly cost, lack of taste kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There are two people in the room.
Oh.
There's a woman in a dress holding a rapier. Dark hair, looks like she's been through a rough day. The hair and dress are not in proper order. She's had some things happen to her today. The other person who's standing there is a half orc man with a cleft palate. Your definition of beautiful is what it is, but he doesn't fit in many person's definition of beautiful. He is, however, well dressed, in a servant's uniform, a butler or somewhere along that line of servant, and he's also armed with a two-handed cudgel. Looks like somebody took a 3-inch thick wood beam and wrapped the top with iron.
Oh.
So yeah, and he's got the breadth of shoulder to put that to full effect. Both of the people in this room are staring intently at the entrance doors from the inside of the house.
Oh.
So their backs are to the window you're standing at, and they're looking to defend themselves from something else in the home.
Can I hear anything? Are they talking at all?
Give me a perception test.
Where the fuck did my music go? +2? I'm off the page.
Yeah, you're +2 on perception.
15.
Okay. They are having a conversation, but you can't make out the words. And the conversation's mostly one-sided. She's speaking, maybe giving orders. He's listening.
So their backs are to me.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to wait a minute to see if anything happens.
Okay. Rodrigo.
Yeah.
You stop one step from the top of the stairs and just stretch up and mouse peek over into the room. So you've got just the tiniest bit of rat head popping out over the top of this top step. If you were, this was done in Disney style, you would be fucking adorable. What you see in front of you, though, is not adorable. There's a pitched battle being fought at the top of the stairs here. There are several men in black leather armor, which are fighting in the style and you've become accustomed to as Zentarum soldiers. They're street rabble, but these are actually Zentarum mercenaries. And then more of the house guard. The house guard are not doing well. There's also a man who's got half-healed burns across the side of his face. And he's squared off in combat behind the Zentarum warrior. So he's working with them, is the way it appears. Did I miss anything? A couple of bodies laying on the floor, a couple from each side. And it looks like the guards are blocking a doorway.
I'm assuming the doorway it's closed.
Yeah, it's a set of double doors that are closed, and they've got their backs to that door.
God, I wish I could talk to the others somehow. Okay. How many people are in that room? Like exactly.
Between both sides, there's 9 people fighting right here.
All right.
8. One of the Growlhund guards just went down.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right.
Remember, Warren's recommendations were reconnoiter the placement of people in the building, and then open up an entry/exit way.
The voice in the back of your head that just sounds like Warren talking at you.
From the top of the stairs, to your right, there's another door that no one seems to be interested in. And on the far side of the room from that other door is a door that has the Zentarum currently have their backs to. That door is closed.
Okay. Is the one that nobody's interested in closed too?
Both those doors are closed. All 3 sets of doors for this are closed. The double doors that the Growlhund are defending, the door behind the Zentarum, and the door no one's looking at.
Okay. I'm assuming I can't just turn back into like my regular self because they'll see me.
Well, you could turn back and they would see you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I can't open a door if I'm a rat.
No.
Well, wait, how high up is the door? Like, is there a gap between the floor and the door? Like, could she sneak under the door?
Not that one.
Well, even so, she's on the 2nd floor right now. I would assume most of the entrances are going to be on the 1st floor.
All right. Do any of the downstairs doors have gaps?
You didn't get close enough to him to see if you can squeeze through or not.
Okay. I'll
One of the Zentarum guys took a slash to his thigh and stepped back. He's not down, but he's not in the fight anymore.
Well, I don't want to fight because I'd get yelled at. But all right. I would say take out the 2 guards below, but I don't want to do that either. Okay, I'll go back downstairs. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do upstairs besides fight. But so I'll go downstairs. I'll look at the. Can I look at the doors again?
Which doors?
Can I tell, like, when I was looking at the servant's door outside? Do we just not know where that leads, or can I get?
None of the doors you found look like the other side of the what you expect for that door.
Okay.
So just
that was an external security door.
Okay.
Everything you've seen is internal door. Downstairs, among the bodies, there were the 2 ornate decorated doors and the 1 plain door.
Okay. But I mean, can I get a sense of like maybe where it would lead in the building? So if there was a door off to the right, direction, yeah.
Yeah, the plainish door would be physically the closest one to the servant's entrance.
Okay. Can I go over to that one and see?
you'd have to cross the room that have the two men standing guard in it. And yes, and once you pass them, you could get there.
Oh gosh. Can I sneak my way over? Is there a way?
Sure.
All right,
Yeah,
I'll go for it.
Make your stealth check.
Come on. Do I roll 2? Do I get an
I'll
advantage?
give you advantage for being rat.
Okay. Okay, I got an 8 and a 14.
Okay. With the 14, you're able to you run most of the length of the room underneath the sofa.
Okay.
And using that bit of strategic terrain, you can cross the room. But I do have one question for you. What do you look like as a rat?
Wow, I've never been asked that question before.
Unexpected questions.
I guess.
Because you're normally like pale white to blue, right?
Yeah. I guess I would be like an albino bluish white rat.
Okay, so you look like a rat that just came out of a freezer.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay. All right. Warren. Quiet.
Yeah, it is.
Too quiet.
I've sort of meandered my way around to the gate, and I'm just walking by it like I'm a pedestrian and just making sure that nobody's been caught.
Everything is quiet and silent. Nothing looks disturbed. There's no bodies laying around. Nothing is on fire. There's absolutely no evidence that anyone of your friends has been here.
All right, I guess I will walk back around towards the servants' door and continue waiting to hear from some of them, or one of them.
Where is Ward in relation to the balcony? Like, can I
Oh.
see him?
Give me a perception check. Because the gate's to your back. If you're looking in the windows.
Yeah, so if I was to, like, turn around and look.
Yeah.
18. 20. I forgot to math.
Yeah. Yeah, you spot Warren casually walk past, looking. No one else would think he looks nervous, but you've spent enough time with Warren to know that he's always a little twitchy.
How far can Mage Hand go?
30 feet?
Wouldn't be able to reach him, would it?
No. Things that end invisibility. Casting a
another
spell?
Yeah.
Making an attack, or stopping concentration.
Shit.
Or the end of its duration, which I think is 10 minutes.
No, it's an hour.
Hour? Okay.
Yeah.
I knew it was plenty of time. I wasn't worried about it.
Okay, I can see Warren. God damn.
Could she throw something
That's what I was thinking.
at breaking it? Or does that count as an attack?
Or, like, pick
would
something
probably
up
count as
and-
attack. You can speak. That does not break invisibility.
Warren, it's good up here!
Some shit's going down.
I got it!
I don't got it. Neither of us got it.
No! I'm an albino rat! I don't got it!
Oh, man. Because if I talk, they're probably going to hear me inside the room if I shout.
There's a glass door between you and them,
Yeah.
and they're paying attention to the inside doors.
So I could try. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to call out and get Warren's attention, and he's probably gonna be confused because he can't see me.
Okay.
But
Obviously, this is going to require a die roll of some type. I'm not certain what's the most appropriate role here. But I'm willing to hear you try to put one of your skills into play to get a bonus here?
I'd probably say either deception or stealth.
Okay. Before you make the die roll, describe to me how you deceptively
I don't
try
know.
to get someone's attention.
I don't know. I was just like, I don't know. You can't really, can you? I mean, I'm invisible.
I know, which is really an impediment to your goals here. Now, bear in mind, too, is that you've only got a brief moment of time before Warren's out of sight as he walks past the gate.
God damn it, I just want to throw a rock at him.
Can you not appear and then disappear again, or do you have to stay invisible the whole time?
I'd have to recast.
It ends the casting of the spell.
Oh.
Is where this balcony is if I were to throw something, I'd have a moment anyways. Because they're paying attention to the other side. What I'm saying, is there a place on this balcony that I could move out of view of the doors?
From the balcony?
Yeah, like
no.
Okay, it's just literally
from
like
the
doors,
roof of the other from the roof of the other building.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you slide back over, you wouldn't have a view inside the home anymore. But you wouldn't be seen from the balcony there either.
Alright, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
And I don't know what I'm gonna throw. What would be the best thing to throw?
You carry around a bunch of shiny stones on you, don't you?
I know.
You might not want to throw them, but you've got them.
Those are special shiny stones.
I mean, I probably have some less special shiny stones if we're just because hoarding tendencies of cats. Yeah, I'm gonna grab one of my less precious stones and throw it not at Warren because I probably don't want to hit him with a rock.
Sure. But you want to get his attention.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Warren, you're about ready to step out of view of the gateway there when you hear this tiny pebble clatter away. And then when you turn your head and look up, you see Blaze crouched up on the side of this building on the other side of the balcony.
Okay.
That's a lot to process.
Yeah, I'm going to stop and try not to call too much attention to myself as I clearly am looking through the gate and just shrug.
Panic casually. Yeah, because this is Rodrigo's side of the building. And Rodrigo's nowhere to be found.
That's a
I
weird
don't
bad
even know
thing.
if Rodrigo made it in.
Okay, so I'm shrugging.
I'm gonna point
I'm
back
wondering.
at the balcony and is there a good gesture for shit's going down? Is there like a gesture?
If you point
for
to
that?
your ass and then down, maybe.
I'm gonna point towards the balcony and I'm gonna mime people holding swords.
Okay. Warren, give me an insight roll to figure out what the fuck she's talking about.
All right. 8 plus 7, so 15.
Okay. Now, while she did use the hand signal combination for Thieves' Cant that refers to my goat has been stolen, what you think she actually means is, I don't know what to do. Please help me. There's something important over here.
God.
Okay. I'm going to assume that Rodrigo's been caught because I feel that's the most likely thing that's happened.
Thank you for
Fair
the
enough.
confidence.
I mean, it's a
So-
pretty good assumption.
Is there anyone else on the street right now?
Not who's paying attention to you in any way.
Okay, so if I can do so without drawing too much attention to myself, I'm going to try to jump this gate and just dash over to that balcony.
Oh,
Okay.
the dog.
I haven't seen the dog. I don't
Right.
know if there's a dog.
Yeah, you can spot a path to do that. If you jump over the gate, if you jump over the wall, if you go a little bit to the right, you'll have some cover, some trees on the other side there. So you drop down behind the trees. Then you can dash over to the nearest corner of the building that Blaze is on and jump up there. All I'm going to need is a strength athletics check and a dex stealth check.
Okay. So the
And
stealth.
feel free to employ any skills or bonuses you might have.
Well, I do have the cunning action, so I should be able to make it over there pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's going to help you clear the distance on the run.
The athletics check, however, is going to be a problem. So we'll see how that goes. Because I'm -1 on that.
Oh boy.
Oh,
And that's going to be an 11 on
Okay.
the acrobatic or athletics.
You're
rather.
not graceful, but you make it up over the wall.
Okay, good. And for stealth,
Mhm.
that is 16 plus 2, so 18.
Nobody sees you be ungraceful, though.
Wait, do I seem
And
to
as-
be ungraceful?
No, you
because
were
he fell
like,
down behind. He dropped down behind the tree. Yeah, you see like him come over the wall, and he disappears behind the trees and bushes, and you see some kind of movement through there as he scurries through, and then the next thing you see is his hands on the top of the roof as he pulls himself up. So now you're both on the roof next to the balcony.
Good. You didn't run
Okay.
into the dog then.
I'm going to blink and say, no, apparently I didn't. And then I'm going to look around and I'm going to say, all right, where is she?
Who? Rodrigo? I don't know.
Rodrigo.
I don't
Rodrigo,
know.
yes.
No,
you
there's
have
some shit
crossed-
going down inside.
you've crossed the room and are now next to that door, that plain-looking door, on the other side of all those bodies, and that's it.
Okay.
And yeah, that door is just slightly ajar, and when you nose through there, the first thing you see is a woman's face laying on the ground, like eyes are open, flat dead, but like you just like come around the corner and there's dead woman's face, like right in front of Rat Snoot.
Okay.
Then there's another dead servant laying on the other side of her.
Awkward.
This is a pantry. Food items, groceries, etc. And then there's a door that has a thick wooden bar blocking it closed.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's the entrance.
There is another
Okay.
door here, by the way, to the left. You have
Okay.
no idea where that would go.
Okay. Well, still assuming Warren is outside, I'll turn back and then take the bar off the door.
Okay. So you pop the bar off the door and push it open.
Where the fuck?
I mean, and you like look around, like, yeah, this is the right door. But there's no one waiting to come in.
Whoops.
I'm just gonna slowly close the door again. But I'm not gonna put the bar over it. I'm
You
gonna
would have
keep
needed
it.
to come out of rat form for all that. Were you aware of that?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Okay.
know.
Okay. I just want to make sure we were all same pagey.
Okay. Now what do I do?
Yeah, pantry room. What do you got going on here? 2 bodies, barred door.
All right. So can I? You said there was another door.
Mm-hmm. There is. That one doesn't even have a lock on it.
Can I
Pushing
go
that
and
one open is
listen?
easy. Nothing going on there. You can still hear the fighting upstairs. This is a kitchen.
Okay.
Looks like meals have been prepared several times since they've cleaned things up properly.
All right.
There are two other doors here. One of them is a solid door that you can assume goes to the outside somewhere,
Okay.
and the other one stays inside.
Okay. All right. I'll go. I'll go to the one that looks like it leads outside, and look like where it leads, just so I know there's another exit.
This one's also barred. You pop that off. You look outside. This is the back half of the courtyard. Directly across the courtyard area from you are the stables, I mentioned before, and the add-on building is to your left.
Okay.
Wait, so Warren and I are on top of the add-on building, right?
Yes.
Do we hear her open the door?
Perception checks from both of you. Up top.
20.
11.
You don't hear it, but you do see the flash of light as the door opens and the candle light, lamp light, floods out into the courtyard for a moment.
Is there a way, still being on this roof, that I would be able to look and see said
Easily.
door?
Yeah.
All right.
Are you still visible, or have you recast the spell?
I'm still visible.
Okay.
I figured it'd be rude to be invisible while Warren's here.
When you look over, Rodrigo, human form Rodrigo, is just kind of like pushing the door open and looking around. It's like, where the hell are they at?
I'm gonna throw another tiny pebble. Wow, my phone just made an aggressive noise. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw a pebble at Rodrigo.
Yeah, you spot Blaze at the top of the roof, just outside the door you're opening.
I'll give a little wave.
Give me like, come here,
Like
come up here, you son of a whore.
Rodrigo, give me a perception check.
Oh gosh. Okay. $13.
Okay. Just as you see Blaze get agitated, you hear the growl.
Okay.
And in the courtyard in front of you, 20 feet away, is that dark mastiff. And
That was a perfectly timed from Annie. Wow.
and you know how dogs do that? Sometimes they do that slow walk as they're trying to get close to something,
Yeah.
just to make sure they get into like lunge range.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to spook you, but it needs to be a little bit closer. That's how it's approaching you.
Okay. Annie, shut up. Okay. I'm gonna keep my hands on the door just in case
Okay.
I have to like slam it closed, but I'm gonna talk to the dog.
You're gonna cast your animal speak with animal spell?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you say to the dog?
I didn't think that
So
far ahead.
you've seen the dog in the
picture,
painting.
yeah.
So
So
if
I-
it's the same dog,
I
It is
clearly
not
know
the same
something.
dog from the photo.
not the same dog.
It's
Okay.
not?
From the painting. No. The dog in the painting was some very cheerful looking Labrador type thing.
Oh gosh.
This dog has not been painted.
I have made a mistake. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay.
Start with a hi.
Yeah, I'll be like, "Hey, buddy."
Alright, so as you cast the spell, the growl, like in your, like halfway through a sentence, you can hear what this growl means. Like, get the throat, win the fight. Get the throat, win the fight.
No, yeah, I like my throat. How about we don't? Um, why do you want to fight me? What's your deal?
You don't belong here.
Well, how do you know that? How do
Because
you,
I belong
why
here.
do you
This
belong?
is mine.
Really? Did you?
All of it
Is
mine.
this your house?
All of it mine.
Okay. Who's your owners?
Owner?
Okay. All right.
When you talk to animals, they don't always have a full grasp of the same concepts that you do. Things like
Yeah.
ownership are a little freaky.
Okay. Who do you hang around with? What people?
Growl hunts.
Oh gosh. Okay. I don't even know what kind of questions to ask a dog.
A dog that's still slowly approaching closer.
Yeah, I'm aware.
If this is the growl hunt dog, we do
Yeah,
know
Blaze,
that
you can see this from up top.
Yeah.
And
I
now
just see Rodrigo talking.
yeah. It's like growls and low barks and stuff like that coming out of Rodrigo's throat, which is
So I can
really
tell that they're
weird.
talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys have anything you want me to ask the dog.
well,
Okay, so
Warren
that's
doesn't.
Growlin's dog, right?
Warren doesn't know anything yet. I've just
Yeah.
got here, but yeah, his family seems to be in trouble. So
You would know that because you were inside upstairs.
all their servants are dead. So
I thought that wasn't the. Oh, okay.
it's not the dog in the painting, but the dog
Yeah.
Oh,
says
but
yeah.
it is their dog.
it belongs to the Growlhuns.
Is that
The
what you
people
said?
in the painting were the growl hunt.
Okay.
The dog in the painting is not the dog in the yard.
Okay. Yikes. Okay. Okay. And then would Blaze tell me that there's something wrong with the dog? Like you said earlier that.
Oh, that
There's been no time to have that conversation, but you're free to speak.
it was an undead dog, right?
It was a necromantic aura.
Necromantic aura. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell. I almost said Blaze. Wow. I'm gonna
Tell
tell
yourself.
Rodrigo about the necromantic aura.
All right. So what does that mean exactly? Is the dog alive but he's possessed, or is
No,
he a
no,
dead dog?
the dog is alive.
Okay.
But it's got some type of magic enchanting him,
Okay.
and you wouldn't. The options there are pretty far-ranging.
All right. Well, I obviously can't do anything with this dog. He wants to kill me. I think with the dog in my field of vision, I'm gonna turn to Blaze and be like, "Where do you want me to like try to come to you or?"
You know better than to take your eyes off this dog right now. That would be an
Yeah.
attack signal for him if you were looking away.
Yeah.
Come to
Um,
us. Come to me. Float your ass up here.
Okay. How far away is the dog?
If you take a step forward, he's got the range you need.
All right. Okay, Blaze. I can't do that right now. I gotta stay in this. I'll tell them what I saw as a rat.
Oh. Oh. That's what's
So
going
you're
on
gonna
the
tell
other
them
side
there's
of that
there's
door.
fighting. Yeah, you tell them
Yeah.
about the fighting up on the
Yeah.
floor.
phone on the other side of that door then. Alright,
And then I'll tell them about also the 2 guards in the front room
okay.
with all dead bodies.
I'm gonna tell her about what I saw up from the balcony.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Okay.
Warren's hearing all this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah, we're in a tactical download right now.
Yeah. So, did you've told us that it's the Zentarum, presumably, or at least they're dressed like them? Okay, so I'm conflicted now because I don't really like either side on this conflict. However, if we're going to help the Growlhuns because it's their property, so presumably there may be more on the right here. The best place to come in from would be from behind all the people that are storming the bedroom, I would assume. But we need to get past this dog to do that. There's only 2 people downstairs. Which doesn't sound like it would be that difficult to deal with.
Hmm.
But we gotta deal with the dog. So we either kill it or we incapacitate it somehow.
I think we should. So
Or you see if you can convince him that he needs to go help his masters. Because he's the Growlhun's dog, and the Growlhuns are being murdered. I don't know if you can convince him to ignore you, but there's like some trouble going on in his house, so.
I mean, dogs
Alright.
are pretty loyal, so you might be able to get him to.
Alright, I will talk to the dog and say that his
Friends?
I don't want his friends. Yeah, I don't want to be insensitive here.
He can probably smell all the blood, I would assume, if he can
Yeah.
smell anything.
That his friends, his family are being attacked.
Give me an animal handling check in place of persuasion.
And what?
Instead of a persuasion check.
Oh, okay. 17.
There's a confused look that crosses over the dog's face where the concept of going inside never really occurred to him. And it ponders this lack of any true barrier and bolts past you.
Oh, good.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
Alrighty. That. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay, that was tense, but at least we haven't died yet. So
Nobody's fucked
there's
up
that.
yet.
Yeah, that was good stuff. That could have gone a lot of different ways. It went this way. So, so yeah, let's shut this down.
Woo.
You can find me at Evil Sales Ass. I'm back at work this week after a week of vacation, so I have stored up some extra anger. I've also started a new D&D project that I so desperately want to talk about, but can't talk about yet. And I can't wait to talk about it, because that logic can go in circles for a long time. Jess, what do you got going on over there?
Hi, I'm not drugged this week, as you could figure out. You can find me at Sweet Nine Tails, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. I don't know what I'm doing for the next couple weeks. Probably working on cosplay stuff. May stream it. God knows at this point. I'm going crazy. Stir crazy. I'm going to pass it over to Rachel. AKA
Rachel,
Rodrigo.
point
the
down
dog
like this.
whisperer.
Put it down like this.
I was
That's
gonna.
That's gonna be your Twitter address that you can never remember the name of.
Yeah, it's down there. I retweet a lot of dogs, so.
Episode hit a little home for you today.
No, it did. That's why I didn't want to hurt it.
All right.
And then Oliver.
Yep, Oliver.
I'll be here next time. Next
Yeah.
week or whenever that next time will be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next week, I expect Nick to be back. I expect Sky to be back, but that would require finding out more information. So yeah, let's have a good week. We'll be back here next Monday night to see what else they can do wrong.
Probably have Minotaur come in and fuck everything up.
Yeah, I just want to say I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't. Just want to point that out there.
Alrighty, everybody. Have a good night.
Excellent.
night.
Have a good one.